A paradise lost, the Pahalgam Attack. The idyllic serenity of Baisaran Valley, nestled in the heart of Kashmir's Pahalgam, was shattered on a fateful afternoon. It was April 22, 2025. The clock had just struck 2:50 p.m. when the valley, usually echoing with laughter and the gentle clip-clop of ponies, was pierced by a volley of gunfire. 7 figures, clad in the deceptive garb of military uniforms, emerged from the wooded fringes of the valley. Armed with deadly M4 carbines and AK-47s, they moved with chilling precision. Their target, a group of unsuspecting tourists returning from an afternoon amidst nature's splendor. The tranquility of the valley was instantly replaced by the deafening rattle of gunfire and the screams of the terrified tourists. The attackers, their faces contorted with hate, mercilessly fired upon the fleeing crowd, their actions a grotesque mockery of the beauty that surrounded them. This was no random act of violence. The terrorists, with cold calculation, had singled out their victims. Witnesses later recounted how the attackers had interrogated their victims, forcing them to recite Islamic verses and even checking for circumcision, a chilling testament to their intent to inflict pain and terror upon those they deemed outsiders. The price of hatred, victims of the tragedy. The aftermath of the attack painted a grim picture on the lush canvas of Baisaran Valley. The serene beauty of the landscape was shattered, leaving behind a haunting silence that echoed the cries of the victims. The once vibrant hues of spring were now marred by the crimson stain of innocent blood. The ground, once a playground for children and a haven for lovers, was now a somber reminder of the fragility of life. The final count, 26 lives extinguished, each a story abruptly cut short, leaving behind a trail of inconsolable grief. Families gathered at memorials, lighting candles and sharing memories of their loved ones, their hearts heavy with sorrow. Among the victims were families on vacation, young couples honeymooning amidst the beauty of Kashmir, and friends forging memories against the backdrop of the Himalayas. Their joyous moments were cruelly interrupted, leaving behind a void that could never be filled. They had come from every corner of India and beyond, drawn to the allure of paradise on earth, only to find themselves caught in a nightmare. The valley, once a symbol of peace and tranquility, had turned into a scene of unimaginable horror. The attack claimed the lives of 25 Indian nationals, representing the country's diverse tapestry. Each victim was a thread in the rich fabric of India, their loss felt deeply across the nation. Among them was Sudip Nupain, a 27-year-old from Nepal. His bright future and dreams of making a difference in public health were brutally cut short. A recent graduate in public health, Sudip had been touring India with his family, his dreams and aspirations brutally extinguished in a hail of bullets. His family, who had come to celebrate his achievements, were left to mourn his untimely death. His mother, Reema Pandey, survived the attack but was left grappling with the agonizing pain of losing her son. Her tears and anguish were a testament to the deep bond they shared and the future that was stolen from them. The victims also included an off-duty Indian Navy officer, his courage and commitment to serving his nation no match for the terrorists' bullets. His bravery, both in life and in his final moments, will be remembered by those who knew him. An intelligence bureau official, entrusted with safeguarding the nation, also fell victim to the attack. A stark reminder of the ever-present threat that loomed over the region. His dedication to his duty and his ultimate sacrifice will not be forgotten. The face of terror, the resistance front and their motives. The perpetrators of the Pahalgam massacre were soon identified as members of the Resistance Front, or TRF. This brutal attack left the nation in shock and mourning, as the true extent of the violence became apparent. This group, shrouded in secrecy and fueled by a venomous ideology, is an offshoot of the notorious Lashkar-e-Taiba and Hizbul Mujahideen, terrorist organizations with deep roots in Pakistan. Their connections to these larger, more established groups provide them with resources and training that make them a formidable threat. The TRF, in a chilling announcement released shortly after the attack, claimed responsibility for the carnage. Their statement was filled with rhetoric aimed at justifying their heinous actions. Their justification, a perverse and twisted interpretation of the ongoing political situation in Kashmir. They sought to exploit the region's turmoil for their own gain, manipulating public sentiment to further their agenda. They cited the Indian government's decision to revoke Article 370, which had granted special status to Jammu and Kashmir, as the trigger for their actions. This move, they claimed, was an affront to the region's autonomy and identity. The group, however, conveniently ignored the fact that the move was aimed at integrating the region more closely with the rest of India and fostering development. The government's intention was to bring economic growth and stability to an area long plagued by conflict. Instead, they chose to focus on the influx of non-Kashmiri investors and residents following the abrogation of Article 370, painting it as a demographic threat to the region's Muslim-majority population. This narrative was designed to incite fear and division among the local populace. The TRF's actions, far from achieving their stated goals, only served to expose their true nature as merchants of death and destruction. Their violent campaigns brought nothing but pain and suffering to the people they claimed to protect. Their ideology, rooted in hate and intolerance, offered no solutions, only the bitter fruit of violence and suffering. The legacy of their actions is a trail of bloodshed and grief, a stark reminder of the destructive power of extremism. A nation responds immediate actions and international solidarity. The Pahalgam Attack sent shockwaves throughout India and beyond, leaving a trail of devastation and sorrow in its wake. The nation, united in grief and outrage, demanded swift justice for the victims and a decisive response to the perpetrators. Across cities and towns, people took to the streets, holding vigils and protests, their voices echoing a collective call for action. The Indian government, recognizing the gravity of the situation, wasted no time in taking concrete actions. Meetings were held at the highest levels, with officials working around the clock to formulate a robust response. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, cutting short his diplomatic visit to Saudi Arabia, addressed the nation, condemning the attack in the strongest possible terms. His words resonated with a nation in mourning, offering both solace and a promise of retribution. He vowed to bring the perpetrators to justice and ensure that the sacrifices of the innocent would not be in vain. His speech was a rallying cry, urging the nation to stand firm and united in the face of terror. The Cabinet Committee on Security, India's apex body for strategic decisions, convened an emergency meeting. The urgency of the situation was palpable, with senior officials deliberating on the best course of action. The CCS declared all Pakistani military attachés persona non grata, a strong diplomatic message signaling India's displeasure at Pakistan's continued support for terrorist groups operating from its soil. This move was part of a broader strategy to isolate Pakistan on the international stage. In a move aimed at sending a clear message to Pakistan, India temporarily closed the Attari-Wagah border, a key transit point between the two countries. This closure was symbolic of the heightened tensions and the need for stringent security measures. Furthermore, India also suspended the Indus Waters Treaty, a landmark agreement on water sharing, demonstrating its resolve to exert pressure on Pakistan. This suspension was a significant step, highlighting the lengths to which India was willing to go to ensure its security. The international community too rallied in support of India. News of the attack spread rapidly, with global leaders and organizations expressing their condolences and support. World leaders, including U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance, condemned the attack and expressed their solidarity with India in its fight against terrorism. Their statements underscored the global consensus against terrorism and the need for collective action. The attack, coming at a time when India was hosting a major international summit, drew parallels to past incidents where terrorists had attempted to target the country during high-profile events. The heightened security at the summit was a testament to India's resilience and determination to not let terrorism disrupt its progress. As the news of the incident spread, the community's reaction was swift and heartfelt. People from all walks of life came together, united by a common purpose. Local heroes emerged, ordinary individuals who stepped up in extraordinary ways. Their acts of bravery and selflessness became a beacon of hope, reminding everyone of the strength found in solidarity. In times of crisis, it's the courage of these everyday heroes that truly shines, inspiring others to act with compassion and determination. The aftermath of the incident had far-reaching economic and political consequences. Markets around the world reacted with uncertainty, leading to a period of financial instability. Governments were forced to reassess their security policies and international relations as the need for heightened vigilance became apparent. Recovery was a slow and arduous process. Communities came together, showing remarkable resilience and solidarity. Rebuilding both the physical and emotional landscape required time, effort, and unwavering determination. The journey was long, but the spirit of unity and hope guided the way forward. Amidst the chaos, stories of survival and hope emerged. Individuals who faced unimaginable odds found strength within themselves and in the support of others. These narratives of courage and perseverance served as a beacon of light, reminding us all of the indomitable human spirit. The incident underscored the global nature of the fight against terrorism. Nations around the world united in their efforts to combat this pervasive threat. Collaborative measures were implemented, aiming to ensure a safer and more secure future for all. The global community's resolve to stand against terrorism became stronger than ever.